Let me back up here, Mike. Mike Rogers, Rogers Brothers, head man for Rogers Brothers. We can see Red River Commodities back there. He represents them, and we have Glacial Lake Energy over here. He represents them. Mike, we're talking C4 today. You were talking about alfalfa.
Yeah, alfalfa. We've taken that C4 and going out into alfalfa field. I had a guy up here that says, "Nah, it's not that great a deal." We went out with a 90-foot sprayer, went across the field, just kitty corner, and did the spray. Within 3 days, where we had put the C4 down, the alfalfa was blooming, and the rest of the field was not. Turned to a bright green. By the time he got in to cut it, it was probably 2 to 3 inches taller than the other that it was there. And when we cut it, then turned around and had a second crop, you could see exactly where we went with the C4 on the second cutting.
Yeah, that's what we've been hearing.
And that's on the alfalfa side, or the hay side, was very successful. Now, what we've had the best luck on the C4 product is in sunflowers. Sunflowers, we come in, there's different times to do it, but we found that just as the flower, 10% flower, we come in and do our bug spray, and with that bug spray we'll put C4 down on that 16-ounce level, and just within days you can see the change in the flower.
So you're putting that on with the plane. You know what amount of water you're flying on at that time?
I try to get them to put 4 on. Most of the time it's 3.5.
Okay.
You know, a lot of guys, they don't like putting a lot of water on that. Okay. 2 years ago we did C4 with some SR N28, some slow release nitrogen, and we caught an inch rain within days after we did it. The flowers, everybody else's flowers were doing 1,000 to 2,200. These flowers did 2,800.
That's fantastic. And the big difference between then and now is we just went through quite a drought. And a lot of people droughted out, and some people were doing 20, 30 bushel corn, and some people were doing 10 bushel beans.
Absolutely.
What were you seeing up here?
Yeah, we didn't have a rain from the 28th of June in this area here until 2 weeks after harvest.
Wow.
And harvest has been done for about 2 weeks now. So, and we like 3-4 days ago, we ended up with 7,500s here. So, I mean, it's just dry as I've ever seen it dry. And the people, what we found with the C4 is when that crop is stressed, the more stress the crop has, the better the C4 works. It'll take a crop that's hanging on an edge and give it that extra boost with what water it has and produce a crop. You know, where a lot of it, if you let it go, it would produce a nubbin in the corn, or the whole center of the sunflower would not fill, just the outside edges. Where we notice the C4 is the seed size. We raise a lot of confectionery flowers for Red River Commodities. The fields that we put the C4 on, we ended up with a 10 to 15% better seed size quality. Plant was a lot stronger, and it was easier to combine. Okay. The guys that used some of the other product out there, it lengthened the flower out, and it in this time of year that we're trying to, it's a race to the finish for the harvest where everybody's trying to get it in. The flowers that were green, we were tough at, you know.
Right. So. Right. So flowers showed up, and what you're saying is in a drought, without moisture, just spraying the C4 on, you could see a visual difference.
Absolutely. Within 3 days, it just turned a bright green.
Okay. Yep. Sort of like the alfalfa.
Right. Exactly.
Did you do soybeans or corn?
We had one person do soybeans, did very well. Our beans always react very well to C4. Absolutely. One of the best things we've done. So.
Okay. And we got a driver coming up.
Yep.
I'll pause. Okay. Truck's gone. Mike, we were talking C4 was good in a drought, and
right.
You've used F14 before.
Yep. And F14 is it's a great product. It's a very balanced product. It just doesn't show the for the dollar cash out on it. It doesn't show the dollar cash out in a drought like the C4 does.
Okay.
But if you have moisture available,
Right.
and I would go and use the F14.
Okay.
Because F14 gives that plant everything it needs. The stimulant, the growth stimulant, along with that C4 with that little jolt to get it going, and the humic feeds it for 2-3 weeks. It just makes the crop so much more uniform.
Okay, so basically, C4 really helps stressed out crops, shocked plants from hail, drought, whatever, pops them back.
Absolutely.
F14 works when you have plenty of fertilizer, plenty of moisture, heat
Right.
units, and you want to just maximize your yields.
Right. You know, you can take 150 bushel corn, put F14 on it, and jump at 10 to 15 bushel.
Okay.
If everything's available. You can take C4 by itself with that 16-ounce rate, and that's what I prefer to do, is to do 1 or 2 16-ounce rate applications. And you can take that and you can get another 5, 6, 7 bushels. But what the C4 does is make a much better crop out of it, product out of it. Instead of having 51 2-pound corn, you're going to have 54, 55-pound corn.
Right.
Instead of having smaller seed size in the confectionery flours, you're going to meet your seed size on your qualification for your contracts, you know.
Right.
And in the soybeans, that bean will actually fill better, and the ones that it didn't fill will just actually wither up, but the ones that are good there will come on.
Okay.
Then they will make good beans.
Okay. So this is your 4th or your 5th year?
This is our 5th year.
Okay, so
Yep.
you know what you're talking about. You've
Yep.
seen it in all types of weather.
Yep.
With heat units, no heat units, rain, no rain, and what's your overall thought? Happy?
Oh, absolutely. I know we couldn't plant. I mean, I wouldn't know what to do without C4, because it's just a part of our way that we do things. There's something else about C4, and I don't know exactly what it is, and I'm not the scientist that built it, but you put C4 with your first Roundup application in your corn, and absolutely will knock out every weed there. Something about the C4, the carrier unit in the C4, takes the Roundup. We don't have resistant kochia. We can go out there and do that 64 ounces if we have heavy kochia. We can go
Right.
out and do that 64 ounces, and with that 16 ounces of C4, mix that up, put it on at a 3.5, 4 gallon rate, and our fields are clean, completely clean. So, and you could do the same thing with that 64 ounces of Roundup. You can't kill them kochia.
Right.
It just, something about the C4 product, the way it's absorbed into the plant, it lets that Roundup get in and do its job.
Always a pleasure, Mike. Appreciate
Pleasure
it.
with you, Carl.
Take care.